Hello students, we have studied in previous class in detail regarding the topic function. Today we'll discuss more about some more things about it. You know, I have basically told you that function is a special type of relation and satisfied by its definition, in which I have described everything. Now I will tell some more about the function. Any function may be of different types. This is surjective one-to function, or injective one-to-one function, bijective one-to-one correspondence. To explain these functions, what these functions are, we have to first describe the function, that is your let us define a function, that is f is x to y, where x and y are two non-empty sets. Then if the range of f is equal to y, f of x that is equal to y, then the function is said to be surjective. That means the range f, the range f total elements of range f coincides with the elements of y. That means your rf is equal to y second set. So if this is the case, then this function is called a surjective function or two function. Example of such type of functions: if we define a function from R to R, then fx is equal to 2x is this type of function. Then secondly, if a function is injective or one-to-one, then by to define this function, if x1 y1 belongs to f and x2 y2 belongs to f and x1 not equal to x2 implies that y1 is not equal to y2. It is said to be injective or one-to-one. If this is satisfied, that means if there is a one-to-one correspondence, but one-to-one relation, or one element is related to a particular element one-to-one. That means if x1 is not equal to x2, then y1 also is not equal to y2. If x1 is equal to x2, then y1 automatically y2. That means a particular element is related to a particular element of the second set. So this is a injective or one-to-one function. Next thing is your example of the such type of function is equal to your f is a function from R to R such that fx is equal to 2x plus 1. It is that type of injective type of function, injective one-to-one. And if both thirdly, if both surjective and injective, then it is said to be a bijective or one-to-one correspondence. That means if both conditions are satisfied, both surjective and injective, then the function is said to be a bijective or one-to-one correspondence. Such type of example of such type of function is defined on R, that is equal to fx is equal to 3x minus 5. If you study, we can, and what is the difference between those such type of functions? If we observe graphically or pictorially representation of this surjection and injection and bijection, in surjective function, that means those elements of x is related to those elements of y. No elements in y is skipped. All elements are included, and all elements, that is a one-to-one correspondence. Maybe one, that may be many one, but all elements are included here. That means the range of f is equal to y. Similarly, here if x1 is x1 not equal to x2, then that means unique, that is one element uniquely related to a particular element, and maybe some elements are skipped, not related to the first set x, but this is the case of injection. Similarly, if those two conditions are simultaneously satisfied, then we get the bijective function, or it is a bijection. That means here h is a function, bijective function, here g is a injective function, and f is a surjective function. Then we'll go to another thing, that is the inverse function. So inverse of a function, but that means a function is inversible if its inverse exists. So what is the inverse? Suppose we take two functions f and g, which are two functions from fr to r, such that fx is equal to y. If fx is equal to y, we can express x in terms of y. That means x is equal to some function g of y. So, and for every y there exists x. If for every y there exists x, then g is known as inverse function of f. So g will be the inverse function of f only when that means for every y if there exists x. So g is known as inverse function of f and is denoted by f inverse. In terms of composition, we write g of fx, g of y, in place of y can write fx, g of fx, that is equal to x. If there exists a inverse of the function, we say the function is inversible. So the condition of inversibility, that which functions are inversible, the function, which function have inverse function. So basically we see here the function which is bijective, it has inverse function. It or surjective and injective functions, they are inverse, they are not inverse, they are the surjective function and injective function, they are not inversible. That means its inverse does not exist. For example, a particular example, you take a surjective function y is equal to fx is equal to sin x. So we can convert like this. We can write x is equal to sin inverse y. It is not a inverse function. It is not an inverse function. Why? Because for every y there is not x. Every y there is not x. Originally we know the value of y is equal to sin x varies from +1 to -1. So here for every y there is the value of x does not exist. So that is why it is a relation, but it is not a function. The next, operation of functions. What is operation of functions? The two functions are defined between two given sets. Their addition, multiplication, and quotients being a function may be defined accordingly. Suppose a function f and g is defined, that is from x to r, then addition of two functions written as a plus g is a new function, is also another function, and can be defined as f plus g of x, that can be equal to f of x plus g of x when x belongs to x. The multiplication of two functions fg can be defined as fg of x, that is equal to multiplication of fx into g of x, where x belongs to x. Similarly, the quotients of two functions f divided by g is equal to fx divided by g, where x belongs to x. Here, provided a condition is that g of x will not be 0 for any value of x. So then only the quotient of two functions will be can be defined as a function. This is all about operation of functions. And next we go to the composition of function. We may get a new function with the help of two given functions, which is known as composition of function. Composition function. Suppose two functions are given, f and g. F is a function from x to y, g is a function from y to z. The composition of function f and g written as g of f is defined as g of f of x, that is equal to g of fx when x belongs to x, provided that your Rf is a subset of y is equal to domain of G. Here we see, here it is x, y and z. A function is defined from x to y, that is f, and a function, another function is defined from G, that is from y to z. Then if we take composition of the function f and g, we can write this g of f x. It is a new function. We can define like this: g of fx when x belongs to x, provided that if, that means what is Rf? Rf is the range f lies within y, and it must be a subset of y. It is inside y, must be subset of y, which is equal to domain of G. This y is equal to domain of G. This G is a function. The domain of G is equal to y itself. So if this is the condition, then or g of fx must exist. Similarly, if we take the function, composite function, you must remember that the composition of function is not commutative. That means g of f, if we take g of f of x, then it is not exactly equal to exactly same as f of g. So g of f cannot be exactly equal to same function as f of g. It may be different. So that is why you remember that the composition of function is not commutative, but it is associative. Suppose if you take the three sets x, y, z, another fourth set, then by taking the rule of associative law, we can show that the associative rule is holds good here during composition of functions. Then next thing is at last I will explain you that every function y is equal to fx on R may be graphically represented by its characteristic. Any function, it may be a transcendental function, it may be a rational function, algebraic function, or where it may be exponential function or inverse function. Every function can be represented graphically, as I have explained in different that means in previous class. So here we take a simply a y is equal to fx. Generally, a graph is taken. We don't know what is particularly what is fx is, but it is an increasing function. If this function will be increasing, this is called monotonically increasing like this. Then it is monotonically increasing when, what is the condition? When x2 is greater than x1. When x2 is greater than x1, this implies that or fx2, this fx2 is greater than fx1. So then only it is called monotonically increasing. Then another thing is your monotonically decreasing. If we take two values of x, x1, x2, and x2 is greater than x1, this implies that or fx2 is less than fx1. Then only it is called monotonically decreasing. So when you taking the graph of any function, you put the value of x and get the value of y, that is the value of the function, value of the function at particular point x, particular point, that is a particular value of the independent variable. Suppose if you take a independent variable of the function, take the independent variable and find out the value of the function. In cases it is not possible to find out the value of the function, then only it is not possible to plot the point. That is, there is a skip of the graph of the function y is equal to fx. There is a skip. When there is a skip of the function, we say that the function is not continuous. It has no continue. It has not continue. It is not continuous at x is equal to something or x equal to that thing. Suppose that for some value of x, the value of y cannot be found out or cannot be determined. In that case, there is a skip of the graph, and we call the function is discontinuous. And regarding the value of the function and discontinuity and limit continuity, we will start our discussion in the next class. And this function is the fundamental topic for you. That is the fundamental topic for calculus, for starting calculus portion of your mathematics book. So calculus is the most vital part of the mathematics, which has much more higher importance in engineering application in higher studies also. So you should focus more on calculus portion. That is why I have told and explained everything regarding the function and its essential knowledge. I gave you the essential knowledge. On the basis of this essential knowledge, you can proceed further, and we will start a new topic, that is limit continuity, in the next class. Thank you.